Today, I'd like to share with you the top 5 installation mishaps. The first common mishap is preparing a list of available log sources and listing them out with priority. We have seen a lot of assumptions that the data a person wants assumes it's in the logs somewhere, but didn't actually review logs while they were setting them up in the SIEM. And then moving on to your firewall, your endpoint, and your server logs. Once you have your list written out, I would begin bringing them into the SIEM. While you're doing that, you want to check and make sure that the logs that are coming into the SIEM are parsing and mapping correctly, and correlation to the alarms is happening correctly. Also check and make sure that you're seeing the data you're looking for in the logs. We have seen a lot of SIEMs that the logs are coming into the SIEM, however, they are not parsing correctly and not triggering on the alarm correctly. So this causes a lack of confidence with the SIEM technology. Once the parsing and the data fields are mapped correctly, confidence in the technology will return. Not every alarm scenario applies to your company that comes with the SIEM technology. Most of the alarms that come with the SIEM need to be further tweaked for custom environment variables you have within your IT infrastructure. Every alarm that is enabled should be reviewed for accuracy within your environment. Just enabling the out-of-the-box alarms and walking away will cause a lot of false positive alarms. And this brings me back to the importance of parsing and the attention to parsing those logs correctly. Do not assume the SIEM manufacturer has done this for you. Oftentimes the logs have changed since the manufacturer has created the log source ingester within the SIEM. You need to test your alarms to make sure they will behave exactly as expected when a real threat happens. This will bring confidence in the system once it's complete. If you only ingest authentication log sources, but do not ingest email logs, then you will have a misconfigured system. The same goes for examples like Office 365 and Google Gmail. There are multiple log sources coming from these providers, and it is necessary to ingest all log sources in order to bring real value and valuable alarms to trigger. More data or logs is always better in order for the SIEM to make a better determination if the activity is bad or not. If you give less data, the SIEM has less to go on to make a decision. Ensure you have all the user account mappings correct within the SIEM. Also, make sure that your Active Directory or your central authentication method is properly configured. The right accounts are disabled and you are running a clean authentication environment. This way, when an alarm does trigger and has a dependency on authentication logs, you can have the confidence that the data that is feeding into the SIEM is correct. For example, a terminated employee account all of a sudden has activity on it and is performing actions. You'll have confidence in the data if you know it is clean. A lot has to come together properly in order to rely on the SIEM with high confidence. When we look at health, we look at the SIEM utilization, system resources, log sources that are coming in near real time as much as possible, and that the hard drives have enough space, memory utilization is good. If you're using a cloud-based SIEM, you'll want to review your hot data, warm data, and your cold data storages from time to time to ensure that your alarms that rely on hot data or warm data are within the correct timeframes. The SIEM will not tell you it is unhealthy. It is just going to keep doing what you have configured it to do. The last point I will make here is that realizing the SIEM is complex. It often takes a dedicated team to work with the SIEM and all dependent connectors and third-party software vendors to ingest the logs from them. This is why the adoption of SIEM subject matter experts is extremely popular right now. You may want to find a company that is 100% dedicated to SIEM, SOC, and related matters, as they will have the knowledge and expertise to bring you the level of success you're looking for.